Have you ever tried learning something new? Playing the piano, speaking a new language, or maybe working out at the gym? On the first day, we start with enthusiasm. The second day feels okay too. But by the third day, boredom, frustration, and impatience begin to creep in. I'm working so hard, so why am I still not perfect? How long will it take to become an expert? Maybe I'm just not cut out for this, we think, and then we give up. But wait, have you ever wondered how the world's greatest artists, athletes, and scientists avoid this despair? Do they have some special talent? Or is their mindset different from ours? In his book, The Practicing Mind, Thomas M. Sterner explains that the real secret to learning doesn't lie in the results, but in the journey itself, the process we call practice. If you think, I don't have the patience, I lack focus, or I give up too easily, then this book is for you. It's not just another motivational speech, but a practical guide that teaches you how to practice consistently without frustration, how to stay calm while mastering any skill, and how to approach every task mindfully so it doesn't feel like a burden. Most importantly, it shows how the practicing mind can transform your entire life. Thomas M. Sterner isn't just an author. He's a professional pianist, golfer, and industrial designer. Through his experiences, he observed that people make one big mistake when learning anything. They focus on the goal instead of the process. He learned throughout his life that the true mantra of success is simple: forget the goal and enjoy the journey. Now he's here to share this wisdom with all of us. If you always leave skills unfinished, find practice boring or difficult, crave perfection too quickly, and get impatient, then you need to adopt the practicing mind. This book won't just teach you, it will change your mindset entirely. So let's dive into the real journey of the practicing mind. Chapter 1. Focus on the process, not the goal. Imagine watching a child learning to ride a bicycle for the first time. On the first day, they fall, wobble, and struggle to maintain balance. Now the child has two options. Option 1, every time they fall, they could think, I can't ride a bike, I'm failing. Or option 2, after every fall, they could say, wow, I balanced for 2 extra seconds this time. Next time, I'll do even better. Ask yourself, if the child only focuses on the fear of falling and obsesses over becoming an expert quickly, will they ever learn to ride the bike? This is the same mistake we make when learning something new. Instead of focusing on the process, we obsess over the end result. When learning a new language, we get frustrated over small mistakes because we're eager to speak fluently right away. When trying to get fit, we imagine six-pack abs before putting in months of effort at the gym. When learning guitar, we want to play a famous song immediately. But when we only look at the end goal, every small mistake feels like failure, and this pushes us away from practice. Sterner says successful people differ from ordinary ones in just one way. They learn to love the process. They stop worrying about the outcome and instead focus on small improvements every day. They see every failure as an opportunity to learn. They treat practice not as a task, but as a game. Think about it. If a child feared falling, they'd never learn to walk. If a cricketer only thought about hitting the ball perfectly, they'd never master batting. The real secret to success is simple. Forget the goal and enjoy the journey. Do you know that Michael Jordan, the basketball legend, missed over 500 shots every day during practice? If he had obsessed over perfection, he might never have become a legend. In an interview, he was once asked, "How do you play so well?" His response, "I never focused on the results. I just tried to improve myself by 1% every day." That's the mindset that makes you great. Now the question is, how do you apply this knowledge to your life? Let's break it down into 3 simple steps. Forget the end goal and set micro goals. Wrong mindset. I want to become an expert guitarist in 3 months. Right mindset. I'll practice holding the strings correctly for just 10 minutes every day. These micro goals will gradually lead you toward perfection. See mistakes as friends, not enemies. Whenever you make a mistake, ask yourself these 3 questions. What did I learn from this? How can I improve it next time? Did I at least improve by 1%? When you turn mistakes into learning opportunities, practice stops feeling like torture and becomes an enjoyable journey. Focus on improving by 1% every day. If you adopt the mindset of getting 1% better each day, in 1 year, you'll be 37 times better. Small progress every day leads to massive success in the long run. With this mindset, you can master any skill, whether it's business, sports, or any other talent. Now you understand why focusing on the process is crucial. But the next question is, why do we find practice boring, and how can we make it fun? We'll explore this in the next chapter. Chapter 2. Learn to love the process. Do you also find practice monotonous? Imagine you've never painted before, but today you pick up a brush for the first time. Your first stroke goes wrong, and so does the second. You think, this isn't my thing, and put the brush down. This happens to us every time. We want quick success, but don't enjoy the process, so we give up fast. In this chapter, Sterner teaches us that if you want to become great, you must learn to love the process. The problem is that we avoid practice for 3 main reasons. Desire for instant success. We expect quick results and forget that success is a process, not an instant outcome. Lack of patience. When something takes longer than expected, we grow restless and ask, how long will it take to become an expert? Eventually, we quit practicing. Comparison trap. When we see someone playing the guitar effortlessly or painting perfectly, we think, I can't do that. We forget that they went through the same process. So how do we learn to love practice? The author shares 3 powerful strategies. Treat practice like a game. Games are fun because they have a level-up system. Small steps with rewards at each stage. If we treat practice the same way, setting small targets and rewarding ourselves for progress, it stops feeling boring. Use the time loss illusion. Sometimes when you're doing something enjoyable, like watching a movie or talking to friends, time flies without you noticing. Sterner says that if you're constantly checking the clock during practice, you're in the wrong mindset. Forget time and immerse yourself fully in the task. This state of flow makes practice effortless and enjoyable. Break mental barriers. If you think you're not talented enough to practice, ask yourself, could I walk as soon as I was born? Did I learn to ride a bike without falling? Every great person struggles at the beginning, but keeps improving bit by bit. Treat every mistake as a lesson, not a failure. For example, Japanese samurai warriors focused on improving by just 1% each day. If their grip on the sword was wrong, they fixed it first. Then, step by step, they perfected every movement. Years of small improvements turned them into unbeatable warriors. This concept is called Kaizen, getting 1% better every day. We should adopt this mindset too. Here's how to apply it in your life. Keep a practice tracker. Write down what you learned, what mistakes you made, and how you improved. Plan how you'll get 1% better tomorrow. Remove the clock and immerse yourself in practice. Spend at least 20 minutes daily on any skill without checking the time. Reward yourself for small wins. Celebrate every improvement with a small treat or break. By now, we've learned how to love the process. But the next question is, how do we maintain discipline and focus? Let's explore this in the next chapter. Chapter 3. Develop discipline and focus. Have you ever started something new but gave up after a few days? Imagine you want to learn piano. On the first day, you're excited to play a tune, but your fingers don't move properly, and the sound is off. By the third or fourth day, when progress slows, you think, maybe this isn't for me. This happens to most of us. We start with enthusiasm, but lack the discipline and focus to keep going. Sterner says discipline isn't a talent, it's mental training. If developed correctly, it can help us succeed in anything. So why do we fail to maintain discipline? There are three main reasons. Our mind always rushes to the future. We get impatient for results. When learning a new skill, we immediately think, when will I become an expert? If you're learning guitar, your mind jumps to playing a perfect song. If you're starting fitness, you imagine a body transformation on day one. When results don't come quickly, we get discouraged and quit. Mental struggle weakens us. Sterner says that whenever we try to maintain discipline, an inner voice tells us, this is too hard. Our mind starts making excuses and we begin fighting ourselves. This mental battle exhausts us and we eventually give up. Lack of mindfulness. When we rush to complete a task, we don't give it our full attention. If you're distracted while practicing a skill or studying, you'll lose focus and discipline. The solution lies in three strategies. Focus on the process, not the product. Imagine you're a potter shaping clay. If you only think, I need a perfect pot right now, you'll grow impatient. But if you focus on each movement, the pot will take shape on its own. Discipline is about taking small steps daily, not obsessing over the final goal. Eliminate mental resistance. We find discipline hard because our mind sees it as a burden. Accept the task and do it without overthinking. When there's no choice left, discipline becomes easier. Stay present in the moment. Sterner teaches us that when we're fully immersed in a task, discipline comes naturally. For example, studying with full awareness for 10 minutes is more effective than an hour of distracted study. Stay mindful during every movement, whether it's exercising or practicing a skill. This is true discipline. Leonardo da Vinci took over 4 years to complete the Mona Lisa. He never rushed. Every brushstroke was done with patience. If he had hurried, it wouldn't have become the world's greatest painting. True discipline is living every step fully, treating work as an opportunity, not a burden. Chapter 4. The 4 Rules of Success: Simplicity, Small Steps, Slowness, and Peace. Do things feel overwhelming to you? Imagine reading a thick book. When you open the first page and see 50 chapters, you feel intimidated. You have 2 options. Option 1, think, I'll never finish this, and close the book. Or option 2, decide to read just the first page and move forward slowly. If you choose the first option, your mind gets overwhelmed by complexity. If you choose the second, you understand the power of small steps. Sterner says success belongs to those who solve big tasks using 4 simple principles: simplicity, small steps, slowness, and peace. Simplicity. Focus on essential things. Great people often emphasize basic techniques. Successful businessmen simplify their processes. In yoga and meditation, the focus is on simple breathing. Sterner advises, if something feels difficult, simplify it. Focus only on the most important aspects and remove unnecessary distractions. Small steps. Every big goal is achieved through small steps. For example, if you want to run a marathon, don't try running 10 km on day 1. Start with 100 meters. Break big goals into smaller parts. If you're reading a big book, aim for 5 pages a day. If you're learning a new language, start with 5 words daily. Slowness. Slow progress ensures accuracy. Professional chefs cut patiently. Great musicians practice slowly to perfect every note. In yoga, slow breathing is emphasized. Sterner says, rushing leads to mistakes and frustration. Practice slowly and steadily to master skills effectively. Peace. A calm mind helps you learn deeply. Intelligent people listen more and speak less because silence brings clarity. Sterner advises, if you're solving a tough problem, spend 5 minutes thinking quietly. If you're learning a skill, practice in a peaceful environment. A calm mind is the fastest mind. Japanese art values simplicity, minimalism, and silence. Their paintings use fewer brushstrokes but convey depth and beauty. This teaches us that less can be more. Here's how to apply these principles. Embrace simplicity. Focus on one thing daily and remove distractions. Break big goals into small steps. Complete one small step daily. Move slowly but steadily. Avoid rushing and focus on precision. Adopt silence and focus. Spend 5 minutes daily without distractions, fully immersed in your work. Chapter 5. Mental Balance and Mastery. Have you ever felt that the more you chase perfection, the more frustrated you become? Imagine learning a new language. You memorize new words daily, but when it's time to speak, the words don't come out right. Every small mistake makes you think, maybe I'll never learn this. This happens to everyone. They grow impatient and lose the joy of learning. In this chapter, we'll learn how mental balance can prevent us from giving up too soon, how to practice without internal conflict, and how to achieve mastery in any skill. Equanimity. Develop patience and stability. Sterner says people struggle with themselves during the learning process. They want to become experts quickly, but don't enjoy the journey. When they make mistakes, they criticize themselves instead of learning. To escape this mental trap, we need equanimity, mental balance. In Japan, tea making is seen as meditation. Every step is done with focus and patience. Mistakes aren't seen as failures, but as part of learning. Mastery. Dive deep into any skill. Mastery isn't just about learning a skill, it's about immersing yourself in it. It's not about reaching the finish line, but enjoying the journey. It depends on how deeply you practice, not how fast. Most people grow impatient and quit before achieving mastery. Think of a potter shaping clay. The first pot may be imperfect, but with small improvements, they create a beautiful piece. True mastery is about making small improvements without impatience. Effortless practice. Sterner says, when practice feels natural, it becomes more effective. If you see learning as a burden, it feels hard. If you see it as an exciting experience, you'll do it better. Once a great violinist was asked, "How do you play so effortlessly?" He replied, "Because I see practice not as work, but as part of the music. I feel every note fully." If we adopt this mindset, learning becomes more effective. Here's how to apply it. Stop fighting with yourself. Don't judge yourself for mistakes. See them as learning opportunities. Progress without pressure. Focus only on today's practice. Don't worry about the future. Every day's practice will bring you closer to your goal. Practice with mental peace. Avoid rushing or stressing. Try to understand your skill deeply. Applying this knowledge to life, Sterner gives us some key principles to stay calm, disciplined, and effective in every area. Respect the learning process. When you focus only on results, small failures frustrate you. The real secret is accepting small daily improvements. As a famous sculptor once said, "I don't carve the statue, I just remove the unnecessary parts." We are already our best selves. Practice simply polishes us. Stay present in every task. Notice how time flies when you're fully immersed in something. Playing a favorite game, listening to music, or reading a captivating book. This is called the flow state. Sterner says practicing in this state makes learning easy and enjoyable. Don't watch the clock. Immerse yourself fully in the process. Make discipline a choice, not a burden. Many see discipline as a strict rule, which makes it hard to follow. But those who see it as a lifestyle stick to it longer. Great musicians never saw practice as a burden. They practiced daily, because they love the journey. If you adopt discipline as a joyful process, it won't feel heavy. Sterner gives a 3-step framework to make the practicing mind part of your life. Before starting any task, pause for a second, take a deep breath, and remind yourself to do it with joy, not haste. Focus on the process, not the goal. Celebrate small improvements and treat mistakes as part of the journey. Start today. Focus on improving by 1% daily. Treat learning as a game, not a burden. Remember, the real victory lies in the entire journey, not just the destination. In summary, the practicing mind teaches us that focusing on the process is more important than obsessing over results. Without the right mindset, even hard work can be wasted. So start practicing today. The results will follow. Subscribe for more insights on personal growth, strategy, and leadership videos. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.